Oh hey guys, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a month. Hey, remember when I used to post daily? Yeah, I also cry about it a lot. Now you might be asking yourself, Yurik, where the hell have you been? It's been quite a bit. Well, my loyal subscriber. You see, it's because I have something called school, and I might not notice, but I'd still have responsibilities and a life outside the internet. I know, it's kind of hard to believe, but... So anyway, recently I have reached 100k subscribers, that's a lot of people. Which means, guys, we are only 109,900,000 subscribers away from surpassing PewDiePie. We can totally reach that number at the end of September, guys. Trust me. Moving on, you know how we do things around here. Every time we reach a certain milestone, I always make a Q&A where I answer your life and death questions and about the universe and all that stuff. Yeah, let's go. Also, if you look behind me, I finally have a proper background. I no longer have a white void like most animation storytime animation channels. I went from Yurikimations to Everybody Gangster to the cartoon avatar crosses his arms and who makes movie reviews. Anyway, let's begin with the questions. J.A. Gamer asks, do you ever think you'll ever reach a point of wanting to redesign older characters' countries as you get better over time? Well, definitely. There are many designs that I didn't really put much effort behind it, mostly because I didn't really know much about said country in history. Or maybe the default design isn't interesting enough, or it's not very accurate, I guess. Which is why I tend to redesign them sometimes. For example, the first time I ever drew Hungary was during the Austria video. That was the first time I've actually designed Hungary, but I didn't really have much of an idea behind it, so the design is kinda last second. Obviously, looking back at it, I didn't really like it, so I decided to redo it, which is the one you currently have. Which is basically the main example of a redesign. So yeah, redesigns are gonna be a thing. Falcon225 asks, is there a reason why you didn't make a design for the Czech Republic, even though you came almost all around her with Germany, Austria, Poland and Hungary? I'm just curious, I won't scold you for anything. Well, Falcon, the truth is I don't really know much about Czechia and Slovakia to really have an idea of said country, but I do like your design that you made for her. But alright, I still have to really figure out the design for her. Gapper G asks, what inspired your art style? Well, most people would assume anime, but to be honest, I haven't really watched many animes in my life, nor read a lot of mangas, but rather I look at a lot of different artists, online artists. I suppose the most obvious inspiration would be JoJo and Fist of the North Star, but that's a little bit of Scott Pilgrim and Homestuck. But overall, I don't really have a main singular inspiration. It feels like my art style has really become of its own thing, and I can't really remember the main influence aside from those. So I'm a bit confused myself in how my art style became the way it is now. No Thoughts asks, do you ever feel like your art style isn't good enough? But it is amazing, because I sure do. Well, yeah, of course. Every artist feels like that with their art. You know how Plato says that there's this idea of forms and how in our heads there's this world where an object has the perfect form, and in real life we can always try to imitate and try to recreate this perfect form in our heads, but it's never gonna be as perfect as it is in our thoughts. So kind of like the whole Plato's idea of forms, because in a way this basically goes with any form of art, that every time you try to achieve this perfect form, you try to make the perfect music video or the perfect sculpture or the perfect drawing, and each time you fail you get closer to that. Someone asks, any preferences between traditional art and digital? To be honest, not really. Like, yeah, there are some advantages with each form, but most of my art up until 2020 was traditional. I've actually fairly recently began doing digital art. I began digital art around the end of last year, so I'm actually fairly new to digital art. Also, while I'm at it, I might as well say some stuff like, you would assume I have some fancy drawing pad, but in actuality I just use a XP pen called G430S, and it's like extremely small and cheap. It's like around 30 euros. I'm not sure how much it is in dollars, but it's pretty cheap. And for drawing program, I use Krita, which is a free drawing program. So literally, I use the most cheapest stuff in the world, and it still works for me just fine. I guess I have a bit of a stoic attitude where I can work with the bare minimum. So I do get a lot of like amateur or people who want to start with art who ask me what type of program I use. And yeah, I just said it was Krita. But because they think that I use something like Psy or something else that's something expensive or fancy. But yeah, I'm kind of like those YouTubers who are like, basically what I'm trying to say is that the art program itself doesn't make your art automatically better. Like, you do have to put some effort. Like, the art itself depends on you, you know? Obviously, a lot of amateur or people who want to start with art tend to, like, imagine that the tool does it for you. For example, a pianist isn't exactly good at music just because they have a very fancy piano, or a gamer isn't better at a game because they have a good gaming chair. I think. I don't have a gaming chair. I have this IKEA chair. Yes, I know this is a bit of a tangent, but I still think it's important for me to talk about it because it is about art in general. I don't know if you think that everyone agrees with me, but I do believe that this idea that tools improve your art, like, yeah, they can improve a bit, but you know, 99% of your art depends on you and your level of skill and imagination too, I guess. So this idea that the tools make your art better is a very amateur way of thinking. So yeah, that's basically my little rant about art, I guess. And now on the last question for this video is by Treebark, who asks, for the countries as characters, which one was your favorite to design? Also, are you planning on adding more Latin American countries? Well, I would definitely say my favorite ones to design would be Scotland, England, and Germany, and Spain. These are probably my 4 favorite ones to design. And yes, I do plan on adding more South American countries to the roster, but I still haven't really figured out the design or really an idea and how to put them in a video. So I still have to figure that out. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I can do for this Q&A. I know there are still a lot of questions that I didn't get to answer, so instead I will answer them in the comments of this video. So, well, I will try to answer all of them. But if you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer as many of them as I can. And now it's time to move on the special thing I promised to you. Also, I want to say again, thank you for the 100k subscribers. That's kind of crazy, really. It feels like a fever dream because it doesn't feel like it's really happening to me right now. And yeah, I want to say I love you guys and I appreciate all the support you gave me. And yes, I even appreciate all the people calling me cringe because, yes, I might be cringy. But at least I'm happy. Welcome to the Uric Inc. kitchen, where I promised you guys that I will teach you how to cook spaghetti, or at least something edible for the family. Shut up, cat. Anyway, originally it was meant as a joke because I didn't expect to actually reach that many subscribers, but I did promise it, so I'm kind of bound by YouTube law to make this video. So today I will be assisted with my mother, and let's begin because I'm not good with intros. These are all the ingredients we're gonna need. First ingredient, spaghetti. Yes. Second ingredient is the tomato sauce, puree de tomate, 100% bio stuff, I don't know. Third ingredient, with the meat. If you're vegan, Fourth ingredient is gonna be olive oil, extra virgin. It's perfect for insert internet group that you don't like. And then you also have these garlic slices, then pre-cut. Another ingredient is gonna be this flavorizer. I don't know what it's called. And we're gonna need these two pans. We're gonna use this one for the sauce, yeah, and this one for the pasta. First step is to fill the pot. That's good enough. Next, you also need the salt. It's usually take around like 1 handful of salt. So, yeah, the glove is a bit shit, but whatever. Put it inside. What? See, yes, we're professionals with this. Okay, it's a bit too strong, the flame, maybe. It's a bit too strong. No. While that boils, we wait that the water boils. Now we begin with the sauce. Step number 1. You get the oil. Usually, yes, we like this. You should cover all the bottom. Yes, that's right. Also move it a bit, make it easier. Step number 2, you take the garlic, all 4 of them, or 2? Four, shit. Fuck off. We're gonna go with 4 instead. Okay. No. Lascialo soffrire. Now it's time to turn on this fire as well. And now, we wait. Now that it's boiling, well, it's not exactly boiling, we take the meat with our hands. This is my brain when I am. Put it inside. Hold on. This is how Crimson terrarium monsters are created. It's a bit hard to really cook with one hand, so I take some liberty in the execution. Ah, shit. Usually you have to turn around and make it become gray. Golden. For the next step, we open the sauce. We pour all of it inside. And just like that. Now we take another handful of salt and pour it inside as well. And now we do some mixing. Again, it's kind of hard doing the mixing process with only one hand. Usually making a sauce takes about 8 to 10 minutes, just like water itself, pasta. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a professional chef watching this, cringing at every single move that I make. Yeah, mix it and turn it. Now we take the little bit of the meat extract, a spoon, I think. It's a spoon, right?
Yes, a teaspoon.
Okay, but we don't have teaspoons, we don't have normal spoons because we're not British.
We have spoons here.
teaspoon.
You
Stir it
Stir it.
more.
again.
Enough stirring.
Deckel drauf.
Yeah, deckel, yeah. Mach ich schon.
Met
Okay, now that the water is boiling, we take off the lid, we take the spaghetti, and we shove it all inside. Yeah, just like that. It's kind of put it all inside with one hand. There you go. Like that. Put it inside. There you go. Okay, now that the sauce and the pasta is done cooking, usually around 10 minutes, we turn off the fire. And by the way, this is gas, not electric. So I feel like I should have mentioned that earlier, but whatever. So next we're gonna take this and put it in the.
Muss ich ja mal ein Sieb aus Becher, weil dann muss ich die
Now we add a little slice of butter to make sure that the pasta doesn't stick, the noodles don't stick with each other. And now for the final touch. Take the sauce, hold on. Now we do the mixing. And now we serve the spaghetti. Okay, time for the testing. Tastes like AIDS.
AIDS candy contains a safe and effective appetite suppressant when used as directed.
The plan lets you enjoy 2 aids before each meal